Raj, we've known each other at a distance. We've met for the first time today. It is an honor to be on the team and now to meet you in person. Tell me a little bit about Rally for Our Lives.
Yeah, so thank you. And so delighted to have this conversation because it says it right there, Rally for Our Lives. And literally, this is an effort to help get the 40 million Christians that are not voting to vote. And there are a number of reasons why 40 million Christians in America are not voting. Some of them are because they don't like either political candidate. Some are because they're been taught that them participating in the voting process is not necessary per the Bible. Mm-hmm. Some think their vote won't make a difference. And so we want to challenge people who think that way, and we want to give them biblical examples of why it's incumbent and even expected by God that every Christian expresses the light that is inside them through a vote. Yeah. This is a very tactical way to be the light in a darkening world and to be the salt in a world that needs Christ's flavor shed abroad. So the people that come will be taught on how they can talk to their Christian non-voters in an encouraging and compelling way about how their vote has to be expressed this November. Mm-hmm.
We hear it every time, this is the most important election of our lifetime. We hear that bantied around a lot, but it really feels like that now. Can you speak to what you think the consequences are if 40 million Christians sit out? What are we risking by not being engaged?
You know, Joel, you mentioned it in our previous interview that we're not dealing necessarily with political issues, although they appear on the political stage. These are cultural, these are moral issues. And the only body, the only group that can really address these kinds of issues literally is the body of Christ. It is Christ followers. And now at the moment, because so many Christ followers are silent, the only people that are speaking on these moral issues are unbelievers. And this is exactly why you are finding right now that the government is attacking parents who, for example, are wanting their children not to get gender-altering surgery. This is why right now in this country, corruption at the government level is so high that 2 assassination attempts have been made on a political candidate. So there is corruption in our country. This is a moral issue, and the Christian vote is so important right now. This rally is not going to talk to you about who to vote for, which party, but it is going to encourage you to get people to vote. Now, consequences. Right now in our nation, we have millions of people that have come into this country that are not U.S. citizens. And we have now established that those people are voting. So it's a conundrum. You have Christian U.S. citizens that are not voting, and you have people in this country that don't have our country's interests at heart. They came here illegally, and they're voting, and they're not even allowed to vote. So what's at stake is an opportunity here for Christians to take a stand that they can say before our Father, because we will all be coming before God one day. And He's going to ask us, make no mistake, He's going to ask us to give an accounting of the gifts that He gave us. And if you live in this country is a gift. And you might say, well, why do you say that, Raj? You know, there's so much corruption, the abortion thing, look how many babies we're killing. Look at my friend, most of the planet lives in countries, in regimes, where they cannot express their voice. You could have been born anywhere. By God's grace, you're born in this country. And so you will be asked, what did you do with this gift that I gave you called this American Republic? And at that time, be the person who will say, Lord, like the servants in the parable of the talents, I took what you gave me and I multiplied it. I took what you gave me and I produced results. I took what you gave me and I worked with it and I bore fruit. Be that person. Don't be the third servant. The third servant came before the Lord and said, Lord, I stood on the sidelines. I didn't do anything with what you gave me, and I let what you gave me not bear fruit. So I think there are so many things that are on the line, Joel. One is us as Christ followers needing to we'll be asked to give an accounting. Number 2, we will be around for however many years we have, but our children, our nieces, our nephews, they are going to be inheriting the culture that we leave behind. we, I feel, have the opportunity to bring the word of correction, the word of clarity, the word of vision, the word of leadership, and bring this country from where it is right now to where it could be. And lastly, the entire world is depending on us. And I will tell you that because I've lived overseas. If we do not make a stand for what's needed in this country here, all of the good work that's trying to move forward, whether it be in China, I'm talking about Christian work, Christians in China that are trying to evangelize, in Africa, in Asia, all this missionary work is dependent on our stand and our support. If we fold, all of that falls apart. Make no mistake. So there's so many things on the line, and voting is pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not difficult.
Yeah. So it's information, but it's also resources on how to get that information into the right people's hands and to help them see. Where does somebody go to find out more information about this?
They can go to honorhiscross.org. honorhiscross.org, and on that website you will have information even before the event on explaining why Christians don't vote. You'll have tools on how to encourage them to vote. You'll even have images, graphics, short videos that you can share to get the word out. So I always ask people, be a doer of what you heard, not just a hearer. So I'm hoping a lot of people come and make this event the life-giving, light-giving event that it can be.
I think it'll be a blessing. Thanks so much for putting it on, and we look forward to being there.
Thank you, Joel.